Welcome back to part 2 of our do-it-yourself Kate Bush Wuthering Heights red dress costume. We have already done our bishop sleeves, so now we're going to go on to doing the wrap dress portion of the costume. To do this, we're going to need the rest of our red chiffon fabric, a ruler, some Tailors chalk again, some Dressmaker pins, a pair of nice sharp scissors, and for this one I'm going to be using the measurements that I took from Ruby, because I'll make her a costume. You're going to be needing to use your measurements. So if you haven't done that, go back to the second video in the series and just take your measurements, and I will take you over and show you how to draw out your pattern on your fabric, cut the pattern, and that will take us to the end of this video. In our next video we will look at how to assemble the dress using the no-sew bonding tape, and then after that I will do another video showing you a more finished product using the sewing machines and bias binding tape to do your dress. And then finally we're going to look at doing the pixie hem zigzag along the bottom and sealing that. So that will be the final video in the series, and then hopefully, yeah, you will have a beautiful Kate Bush dance costume. Okay, so I will go now and show you how to mark out your pattern and to cut the fabric. First up, we're going to draw the back section of our dress. So in order to do that, you will take the full width of your fabric, so the 145, and lay that out on your table, and then fold it over by whatever measurement you took for the hips. So in Ruby's case it was 45 centimeters, so I have folded over already 45 centimeters and I've clipped, but you can pin that amount. Okay, so we are going to draw the back portion of the dress, marking out our pattern using the measurements that we took. Normally you would just use Tailors chalk and just draw it directly onto the piece of fabric, but I found that when I was filming it you couldn't really see the Tailors chalk on the red dress fabric. So I have laid down some paper and I'm just going to use a black Sharpie, and then that way you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Alright, so the first measurement that we are going to use is the neck measurement. Ruby's was 16 centimeters. So what you do with the neck measurement is you halve it. So that will be 8 centimeters. Now we're going to leave a section of a couple of centimeters from the edge because that will allow us for a seam. So yeah, just come in from a couple of centimeters from the edge and then draw yourself just a rough line so that we can work from that. Okay, so we will come in from the edge 8 centimeters, just like that. So that's a half neckline, and then we're also going to come down the outside here by 8 centimeters. So we're going to just leave ourselves a little mark there. All right, then the next measurement we are going to take is the shoulder seam measurement, and that was 12 centimeters for Ruby, but it'll be whatever it is for you. And we're going to go along that line and put another mark there at 12 centimeters. So coming down from that half neck measurement here to 8 centimeters, or whatever it is for you, we are then going to add the full length of our back measurement and put a mark down the bottom. So all the way down here, Ruby's was 110 centimeters. Excellent. So that's that mark there, and we're just going to put a mark there. Coming out from this point here, we are going to just draw a direct line out to 45 centimeters, which was the length of her hips. You, of course, you know, will be bigger because you're not a child. All right, so here we go. We'll go out to 45 centimeters. Just going to have to run another little bit of paper off. Okay, so to 45 centimeters. Great. And we can use our ruler here and just run a line across there. Great. Okay, now up here we are just going to draw a gentle curve along this section here. Now that we have drawn our neck hole, we are going to just put a slight angle here on the shoulder seam. So I'm going to suggest probably coming down around about, I don't know, about 6 centimetres. I think most people will probably be fine with that kind of angle. All right, so we are just going to run a line between there, and that should be our shoulder seam. Now, okay, so we've got our neck curve, we've got our shoulder seam, and now we're going to move on to doing our armhole to match our sleeve. Now, using our existing bishop sleeve, we are going to take this as the template for the armhole, so the matching. So with this, you take the edge that you have here that we've sewn together, and then you've got the curve, and so taking the point of the curve, you are going to line it towards yourself with just the point there, and running it as straight as you can. You will end up seeing that it does a slight curve that way, which is exactly what you want. All right, so now using this, we will just trace the edge. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're just making a costume. So just as close as you can get would be good. All right, and that will just give us the shape for our armhole. I will also follow up with an image of this. Now, to basically just do the rest of the dress, come in just a little bit here from the side, just to give it a little bit of shape. And once there, you're going to use your ruler. And from this point here, we want to come down around 10 centimetres. Okay. And probably leaving a hole of around about, I'd say just make a hole of about 5 centimetres. That way, we are going to actually mark a section, and on one side of our seams, we are going to leave a hole in order to thread our wrap dress tabs through. So, okay, so that's just us leaving a section here just to remind ourselves when we go to sew it to leave a hole. Okay, now coming here on our 45 centimetre, we are just going to basically run a gentle curve all the way up to our armhole. Wonderful. Now I will take an aerial photograph of this so that you can actually see the shape that you're cutting out, and yeah, from there we will